Good evening and welcome to this week's weekly analysis webinar. Welcome, and I hope you guys, every one of you had a profitable week last week, even though the market was not very favorable, but we still make the best out of a bad situation. We did make some profits, but we did see that the market was not really moving last week. Right, that doesn't stop us from trading. So we're gonna start as usual. I'm not gonna talk about my contact details. You're gonna find them if you're watching the video. You're gonna find the contact details on the description. What we're gonna try to do going forward, under the description of the video, you can also check the timing of each on every chart. So, for example, if pound US dollar is on the 10th minute, it will be specified under the description. So look out for that. Also, the contact details, you will find them at the end of the video. All right, so check them there if you're looking for that. So if I can just tell you a bit about the course that I'll be offering in the first week of February. So the course is going to be starting on the 5th of February. How the course works is we do the course for for about 5 days. That is the first week, and then after the course, that is basically the theory in the first 5 days, and after that, for the next 2 years, every single day we have daily webinars where we update trades and actually so for example, I would have done the market analysis like this one, this free one. This is like an overview. So what we do in our premium group on a daily basis is going to be detailed analysis, focusing on entries and exits of the trade, basically trade management. That's what we do. So the cost of the course is $500. Most of the people that have attended this course and are in our group find that it's actually the price is actually very reasonable considering the work and the amount of work that we do in the group. So if you're interested in the course, look out for the contact details at the end of the video. You can contact me on the emails and the mobile number that you'll find at the end of the video, or otherwise on the description of this video. So let's get started with the business of the day. Right, so we start with Euro US dollar. As I always, I'm going to start with our favorite chart, the correlation between Euro US dollar and the DXY. Find this one on the ideas here. Let's go straight into it. Right, I'm going to look for that one. Should have opened it before we started, but that's okay. Let's see how far we've gone since that chart and where we're looking to from here. So that's the chart from the 17th of November, forecasting Euro US dollar and the DXY. We were on wave 3. I took you guys through the whole of wave 4, right? So from this move here, when you did this 1, 2, 3, basically the WXY in red here. Similarly, this is what it was doing here, 1, 2, 3 on the DXY, but building up for a move to the downside. On the Euro US dollar, building up for a move to the upside. Okay, so you would see that in the middle here, there was an expanding flat on this one here. There was an expanding flat on this one here. Okay, so that is the X, that is the correction there. So what were we looking for? We were looking for this to make this move to the upside like that. This one to move to the downside. So let's see how that is progressing so far. This has been going well up to so far. Okay, so we can see how well that has played out. So what did we get there? We got a move, we got a deep correction, and then now we're getting this move. So if you look at these moves, that's something that I'm not going to go deeper into it. These moves are in 3 waves. Here you see 3 waves, here you see 3 waves, and here you see 3 waves as well. Okay, and this, as you can see here, it looks incomplete. So similarly to the DXY, you're getting exactly the same thing. Okay, we got the move down. That is what we were anticipating. You got the deep correction, and now you got this one, right? So we are getting again another correction here. It's starting to correct here. It's starting to correct there, right? So there is a possibility that this can still give us a push higher to complete these moves, to complete this move and this one to complete this move here. So we may get so DXY, the dollar index, may still be getting weaker in the days ahead. Okay, I didn't play it fully, so let me just see if there's still any missing moves there. I think it's gonna complete now. All right, so that's actually where we are today on this pair. All right, so that's all we have on this two pairs. So if this is the correction still, and you can see that it's not dropping, we're getting the correction here, we're getting the correction there. So getting a correction gives an indication that we may still get a push higher, we may still get a push lower. Okay, so dollar weakness still ahead. All right, so let's go drill into the chart, into the euro US dollar chart. That is the correction that is starting to play out there. It is not complete at the moment. Right now we had a 3-wave. Looks like we had another 3 waves, but we're getting this drop to the downside here. Okay, so we don't know whether it wants to make a flat like this. We don't have enough information for that, but if you want to trade this, before I talk about how the whole structure looks, if you wanted to trade this and you're a short-term trader, there's a trade that is playing out here that you can look out for. All right, so this is like the current market conditions. It's like in cricket when the batsmen are just playing 1-2s. We're not really getting those 6-4s and the 6s, but we know the 1s and the 2s. Those are the ones that keeps the scoreboard ticking. So that's what we're doing here. We're hitting the 1s and the 2s. Right, so what do we have here? We had this breaking to the downside here. Remember, I do not trade trend lines. I just use these lines to show me the structure. So we've got a small trade to the downside here. Right, so you can take the trade here if your strategy tells you to do that. You can take the trade at this point right now at market open and target this area initially. Okay, so this looks good for a downside. So that if this is gonna go all the way down, then you're in the trade. But if it's gonna come and go back like this, why will it go back? Let's look at why it will go. It may go back. Right, so we've got 1, 2, 3 here. We've got 1, 2, 3 there. So we may get these making some kind of a flat correction. Okay, so if you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and an impulse, that means that this will still go up. So you can just take this short trade. Right, so I'm only going to be interested in this pair only when this correction is completed. When this correction is completed, right now we're just going sideways. We're not going anywhere. We're just going sideways. But short-term traders, here's a small trade for you guys. All right, so let's look at what is happening now here has happened before. And I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. This is exactly how the 4th wave started. The way this is starting here. If you go look at the 4th wave. Okay, remember we were here. This is the correction that we were discussing. So I want to show you how the 4th wave started here. You can see here, we started with this 1, 2, 3. It's exactly the same 1, 2, 3 that we started with there. Or you can look at this like a 1, a 2. I think let me just enlarge it a bit so you can see it clearly. So you can see what we're looking at. Let's clear all that. This was wave 3. This was that wave 3. This is that wave 4. This wave 4 started with this move, impulsive move down, impulsive move up. We started with this this pattern that looked like a regular flat. We are getting the same here at the top. We're getting this, unfortunately that moved there. We're getting this 1, we're getting this 2, so we may be getting this 1 here, okay, before we get this move up. So even here, when it did this and it did that, 1, 2, 3, we thought we were ready to go to wave 5, but instead it just gave us this big correction like that. So this correction may become deeper as well, okay? So that is why it is important to wait for it to see how it plays out. Right now, it's not giving you it's not giving you indication for downside or upside. It's actually giving you indication for upside here. Okay. So euro, just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on this correction. You can take the short trade if you're interested on that one. US dollar CAD. Right, so US dollar CAD, we're on a downtrend here. There's a possibility for it to keep crawling up to this level. So if you get a setup here that allows you to enter in here, you can enter, but this is going to be a short-term trade to this level, because if it gets to that level, then we're going to have something like this, and that will mean you're getting a big 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, so this is why I'm saying this market currently we're playing 1-2s, right? Short-term trade so far. Okay, but just as we go on, there's a nice trade on the euros. There's nice trades on the euros and the CAD as well. On the CAD pairs, other CAD pairs. For now here, look out for this one here. It's a nice 1, 2, 3. As you can see there, we'll be anticipating this move down, but that will tell us when it gets there. If we get a reversal and a correction like that, then that will come here to this level, may come up there. What is it doing? It's giving us a big regular flat. Right, so, but we're not even there yet. We're forecasting way ahead. We don't have any information to tell us what's going to happen there. So right now we're just focusing these pieces here for the next coming sessions. Right, so US dollar chief. Let's look at the US dollar chief. This is quite an interesting one. I think you're going to need to watch previous videos for this one. So last week we were thinking that we're going to get 1, we're going to get this 2, and then we're going to be buying it here for it to go here, right? Because we had projected our buy area here, which is equal legs of these ones. Okay, we got this move, which was only a 3-wave pullback, which did not quite play out. But we can see what it is trying to do. So let's just show you here what we'll be looking at on this one. So we still have at this stage an impulse, and this is still 1, 2, 3. Advanced pattern traders would love this one because this looks like a 1, 2 bet pattern, and if this is the bet pattern, then that will be the target over there. So if you're buying this at the 88 area, which is 95, 89, that is the 88 area. And actually that is it will be the 88 area, yes. It is the 88 area of a bet pattern. Okay, but I don't trade advanced patterns alone. This should be falling into the structure or the cycle of the Elliot wave, cycles and sequences. And we have shown that if I just go to the daily, show you what we're looking at here, show you that we're not just looking at this pattern in isolation, because most of the advanced pattern traders get it wrong because they don't know where the pattern is falling on the cycle. All right, so here you got the impulse, you've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if this is your regular flat in the middle there, you got a regular flat. So here you're getting another correction, which is an impulse correction. So you may be getting this. So if we get this move, right, this is the move that we're looking for with the pattern. So this may still, after this, give us the red move to the downside, or make another pattern like that, making this this first pattern. Depending on how this will play out, you see. So all of this will just be giving us this 1, 2, 3 pattern. So when you trade advanced pattern, you need to see where they fall in the cycle of the in the cycle and the sequence. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. So that's not the only thing there. Right, so let's look at something else here. Right, so you know that right now you're seeing this big candle that is reversing at the 78. Okay, but the candle doesn't mean anything. So let's look at something else here. extension tool. So your 100% extension is actually here. This is where we wanted to buy it last week. We wanted it to get to this level. Let me show it with the yellow color. We wanted to buy it with this at this level. Right, so here is the 1,618. So if it can still get there to this level, right? So that's the daily. So if we can get to the 1,618 extension, that's even better for us, right? So just one more thing on this pattern. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour. Look what happens when it gets to this level. This pattern that we've been trading so frequently these days is playing out very perfectly. You've got an impulsive move to the downside. You're getting this pattern starting to look like it's slowing down like that. So if that is the pattern and it keeps crawling around to the 95, 89 area, we're not even going to look for confirmation. When it gets to that level, we just buy. Okay, so that's how we're looking at this one. So you can see also there's a strong divergence on this pair. Very strong divergence. All right. Right, so now let's look at gold. I'm not going to look at gold alone. Gold, I look at it with US dollar JPY. Let me show you another chart that I posted here on Trading View. The correlation between gold and US dollar JPY. And some of you may be wondering why there's correlation between gold and US dollar JPY. That's a story for another day. If you like, if you're interested in knowing why there is correlation between gold and US dollar JPY, read it up, Google it up. You'll see what the reason why I look at this as correlation. So you can see here, peak for peak correlation, peak for peak correlation. And last week I mentioned, I don't know if it was last week where I mentioned that you don't treat correlation as a blanket approach. Just because pairs you've got similar quoted pairs, it doesn't mean that it's always going to go in the same direction at all times. You find that some pairs lag each other. As much as they're in correlation, they lag each other. All right, so these ones have been in direct correlation as far as we've got the data on the screen. Right, so now let's look how this played out. I take off all of this. So this was my forecast on gold. I wanted to get the move down and then a move up. Similarly with US dollar JPY, I wanted to get a move up before a move down. So last week I mentioned that gold has made a significant move to the upside, but US dollar JPY has just been in correction. So I said, look out for the down move. It's coming on US dollar JPY. That is the move that you got now. Okay, as much as gold kept going, rising and rising, US dollar JPY only started its move late. It waited for some time and then started making the move much later, as you can see here. Right, so correlations help us. If one pair is not clear, but one that is in correlation with the same pair, we actually follow that one so that we can get direction. Because sometimes you don't all these patterns are not always clear, or on one pattern you don't have enough information. Okay. Okay. All right, so I see somebody saying, I think we can't get complex pattern which you draw at US dollar chief. All right, so it depends what you're looking at. That's the pattern that I'm looking at. I'm giving you number of possibilities here. All right, so this is gold here now. That's the correlation. So what will happen? What will happen now going forward? We're looking at this. There's a correction there. There's a correction there. There's a possibility for these to keep going down. So let's look at something here. This one has not tagged that level. Has this one tagged? Neither of them have tagged that level. All right, so it looks like, let's go back to the gold chart. Okay, somebody's saying there's no sound on YouTube. As long as there's sound on Zoom, I will upload the one from Zoom. I don't know what's happening on YouTube. Thanks for the update, Niraj. All right, so let's carry on. If you can hear me on Zoom, it's fine. This is the video that I will upload there. All right, so that is a US dollar Swiss. Now we're looking at gold. Okay, we're loading up gold now. All right. So this is gold now. So I did a detailed analysis on gold last week, I think for the last 2 weeks. So I'm not going to go through the whole analysis. Please watch last week's video. You see 1, 2, 3 there. There's possibly another one, and it's correcting here now for another move, possibly to the upside. So if it does that, you may be getting a 3-3 impulse, and maybe it goes. Otherwise, if you don't get this move first, then it can just go, and then this will be all of the correction. So gold and euro, they're both doing this sideways, and these are the moves that I like because they give me time to see the direction of the next move. And right now we're not seeing a big drop, we're just seeing it going sideways, and the sideways moves are a good indicator of continuation. All right, so that is gold. New Zealand US dollar. Let's look at New Zealand US dollar. Right. So New Zealand US dollar, if I just go to the daily, show you the pattern that we've been looking at all this time. For the last 4 or so months, 5 months or so. Since July, we've been watching New Zealand US dollar. Okay. So we've been waiting for this move on New Zealand US dollar for 5 months, which we actually got in December. Right, so why were we looking for that move to play out like that? This is the pattern we were looking at. We have a big impulsive move coming from all the way down, all the way up there. And now this was playing out like this. 1, 2. Actually thought this was the move that we was gonna get us going like that. Right, so what we are now seeing here is that this is what we're looking for here. A simple A, B, C there. Okay. But now that pattern changed slightly. Just show the change. So instead of this being the B was actually here. B is actually here. And then this became now a flat. So this was not all the correction. Okay, so basically the correction was all of this here. And then this is the move that we were looking for, so that this can give us an ABC, right? So that's what we were looking for. Okay, so there's actually another possibility that I noted, and I think I didn't show that on gold. I'll show you of this structure. So what you would have here, let me just finish this one here. So you've got this one. There's the first possibility, and then we got this one. So which means then that every single time you get a correction here, you keep buying up until, okay, initially the first move is this one. You're gonna keep buying until you get to this level, okay? But that may not happen immediately like that. So there's another possibility, which is this here. Show that possibility, which may, this means that we had this deep correction here as it is, and we may be getting this one here like that, which means here you've got a zigzag, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a flat correction possibly, because this has broken here, or regular flat. So what you would have is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So as much as this has given us this move, we may only just get up to this level. Remember, because 2 corrections in combinations, this one has got nothing to do with this except for the degrees. The only relationship between this one and this one is the degree. So you can get any type of correction here anytime, as long as they are related in terms of degrees. So we, either way, we're still looking upside. We're gonna need to see what happens when we get to this level. Right, so for now, we need to protect our profits on this pair. Right, so that's New Zealand US dollar. I'm gonna do the ZAR just now. Let's do Audi USD. It's loading Audi USD here now. All right, so this is Audi USD on the daily. This is what we're looking at here. Similar to New Zealand US dollar, we've got a big impulsive move to the downside. From there, we're now looking at this as 1, 2, 3. And then now we're getting this one here. So we need to see what it's gonna do when it gets to this level. What has happened here, note, we've got an impulse. We got an impulsive move to the downside. Okay, we also got another. I'm gonna do this one with a different color. Let's use pink for this one. You got another impulsive move. So you have not got a correction after this impulse. So what could possibly happen is you may start getting this correction in this color and then get this move here before you get this move to the downside, right? And then that red can start playing out. So, but this is way ahead in terms of the forecast. Just move the screen over. Where's that? 3. So right now, we're going to be looking at what happens when it gets to this level. Because if that is the case, then you've got your A, B, C. You've got a 3-wave move in green there. You will have a 3-wave move in green. Okay? Because you did not get a correct, you haven't got a correction after an impulse. Okay? So for now, we are at almost approaching this level. Very risky to buy here, right? But if you're going to buy, you need to protect profits here up to that level. All right, so that's Audi. I think that's the last of the US dollar pairs. Let's do the ZAR. US dollar ZAR. That's the only one of the exotic pairs that I do for the webinar, but it doesn't mean that okay, it's actually the one that I trade on the exotic pair. So the USD, MXM, the other exotic pairs I don't really trade. So this one I'm very familiar with, so it's easy for me to trade this one. All right, so looking at Euro-ZAR, this one has been quite interesting and we've been trading it quite accurately. And now I'm seeing 9 rands, 9 US dollars, 9 ZAR, $1 equaling 9 ZAR in the next coming sessions. Why am I looking at that? Look at this simple ABC here. Look at this here. But it doesn't go like this, eh? It doesn't always have to go in a straight line, but the possibilities are very likely now that we may get US dollars are going to 9 ZAR. All right, so what do we have here? We've got a move down. You've got a correction there. Let me specify that correction in a different color. See there. Okay. So if we get to the level where this is equals to that, then US dollars is going to 9. Very simple analysis. And in between here, lower degree, you've got 1, 2, not like that, sorry. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3 that we've been analyzing. And here you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3. So right now we've got this impulsive move down. Similar to how this one started, I'm going to clear. This one started like this. This one is now starting like this. So if we get a deep correction like that, or any type of correction here, you selling US dollars are all the way to 9. Okay? So somebody is saying no sound here. Let me check what's going on. Let me check what's going on. On Zoom, there is sound. Somebody said there's no sound on YouTube. Okay, Zoom is good. Niraj says Zoom is good. So it's probably YouTube. So don't worry if there's no sound on YouTube. I'm gonna upload this video from Zoom on YouTube. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so let's carry on. So this is why we'll be looking at 9 on US dollar ZAR. Let me just go to the 4-hour now. Below the 4-hour chart. Right, so that is the 4-hour chart. Still loading. I don't know why it's loading a bit slow today. Right, so if somebody can just give a notification on YouTube that people can just log on Zoom. Apparently there's no sound on YouTube. So US dollars are, there's the big drop that we had. We had this 1, 2, 3 move here, where you had simply this one equaling that before you got this move down. Right, so this move down has started now. So you need to get a bigger correction here, okay? You need to get a bigger correction. Right, so it seems like my mouse is also getting stuck on this one. So let me go 1 hour. Let's go 1 hour. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just quickly check my connection here. Just quickly. Sorry about that. There's just a number of people connected to the Wi-Fi here. But we're good to go now. Let's go. All right, so I'm just gonna reload this one here. Let's just reload that one. We're good.